In this video I will show you 3 easy ways to blend acrylic paint. Blending acrylic paint on canvas can be a little bit tricky because it dries so quickly, but I have found these techniques work perfectly every single time. For the first technique we'll be using 2 wide flat paint brushes. This technique will also work with one brush, so don't worry if you don't have 2. This technique is perfect for creating smooth gradients. To start, we will cover the canvas in a thin coat of water. This helps to prevent the paint from drying out too quickly, so it gives us more time to blend. You can also add a slow drying medium to your paints if you have this, but as you'll see it also works well with just water. Then dip your paintbrush into the water and then into the first colour of your paint and start painting it onto your canvas in a horizontal motion. If it feels like it's sticking, then just add a little bit more water to your paintbrush to make it smoother. Continue to add this colour paint to the whole section. I'm making a gradient with 3 different shades of blue, so I'll add this lightest colour into the top third of the canvas. Clean the paintbrush in the water and then start adding the next colour of paint. I'm using a darker shade of turquoise for my gradient. Don't worry yet about blending, just add the paint to the next third of the canvas. There will be a sharp line in between the colours, which is what we will be blending together. Add a little bit more water to the brush and then use the first colour of paint and paint over the line in a back and forth motion. Continue doing this while moving your arm up and down to easily blend the 2 shades of paint together. It's really important that all of the paint is still wet, so if any of it has dried out, just add some more over the top. To finish the gradient, we can add the final colour of paint to the bottom section of the canvas. Use the exact same technique as we did with the previous section. It helps to add the paint in quite a thick layer as this will keep it wet for longer. Fill the whole section until there is a line in between the 2 colours, then take the previous colour and paint it over the top of the line, softening it and seamlessly blending the 2 colours together. This next step is optional, but it helps to smooth the colours even more. Take another wide paintbrush and make sure it's clean and dry. Start at the top of the canvas and very gently brush it back and forth in the same motion. Gradually move your arm down while doing this until you have brushed it over the whole canvas. Only do this once, as otherwise you could accidentally add the dark paint into the lighter paint. For the second technique we'll be using a wide flat paintbrush and a large round blending brush. Use the wide paintbrush and add water to the canvas in the same way as we did before. This technique creates a fluffy textured blend that is perfect for cloudy skies. Dip your brush into the water and then into the first colour paint. Then add this to the first section of the canvas. This technique and the next one are both great for blending paint in more of a random or curved pattern compared to the first technique, which is better for straight lines. Add the next colour to the middle section of the canvas and don't worry about blending the colours together just yet. Just fill the section until the colours meet, adding the paint nice and thick with a bit of water to make sure it stays wet. Add the final colour to the last section of the canvas, working quickly to prevent the paint from drying. Then take your blending brush and make sure it's clean and dry. Don't dip this one into the water. Use the brush to blend the colours together by moving it in a circular motion across the line where the 2 colours meet. This will start to make fluffy swirls as the colours begin to blend together. Continue to do this over the whole canvas until all of the colours are blended together with this fluffy, swirly texture. For the third technique, I'm going to use the same colours again, so I'm just adding the colours to the same canvas as I don't have another spare. Add the colours in the same 3 sections as before. I'm doing this as quickly as possible to keep the paint nice and wet. This technique creates a smooth velvety texture and can work well with both linear and curved gradients. Take a dry sponge and cut it to make it a bit smaller so that it's easier to work with. Then just dab the sponge up and down over the wet paint. As you reach the line where the 2 colours meet, continue to dab the paint up and down, which will blend the colours together. Don't be tempted to drag the sponge, as this will create a different texture and it won't blend as nicely. As you continue to dab the sponge over the paint, you will see the 2 colours blend together. If there's too much paint on the sponge, then just wipe it off onto a piece of tissue and continue to blend. Continue doing this over the whole canvas, blending all of the colours together. I hope you have found these techniques helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.